This video is brought to you by Capital Custom Bicycles. Nestled in London, right in the heart of Eastern Kentucky, Capital Bicycles lives by two rules: fit and comfort. Every frame we design and manufacture, every complete bicycle we build and finish, wears a proud badge of honor, one of one. A unique combination of design, finish, and build, never to be repeated. Every individual frame is designed, engineered, and finished to reflect each unique Capital bicycle owner in every way, from tubing selection to ride quality, from component selection to individualized paint finishing. Even the smallest details are important to ensure the creation of a bicycle that its owner will love, ride, and treasure for a lifetime. For more information, visit capitalbicycles.com. Hey guys, it's Nathan from the Kentucky Cycling YouTube channel. Today is a very special day for me, and one that I'm sure most of you can probably relate to. It's New Bike Day. Yay! But it's not like any new bike day I've ever experienced before, and quite likely more exciting than anyone I'll ever experience again. As this afternoon, Peter Mitchell, the bikesmith from Capital Custom Bicycles, will be coming to Frankfurt to deliver my very own one-of-one Capital Custom bicycle. This video will have three sections to it. In the first part, I'm going to provide you with an overview of my requirements for the build and show you a rendering of the design. In the second part of the video, we're going to get to see some time-lapsed video that Peter has taken of the build process. In the final part of the video, you'll see the big reveal of the completed bike, including its new one-of-one custom paint job. As other owners of a Capital Custom bicycle can tell you, Peter likes to do a big reveal of the final product upon delivery. And so, while I've been able to communicate things like colors that I like and ideas of things that I might like to see reflected in the paint job, the completed build and custom paint job are something that I won't get to see until he arrives with the bike later today. And I have to tell you, the suspense is killing me. Okay, so as you might imagine with a custom bicycle build, I've been able to provide a lot of input into the process, so I can provide you with an overview of the build. As many of you know, my absolute favorite use of a bicycle is as an exploration tool. I love exploring new places by bike, and over the past couple of years, the folks I ride with and I have probably contributed most significantly to the cycling scene in Kentucky by highlighting or developing mixed surface gravel rides. We also love multi-day bike adventures and highlighting places to go bikepacking in the region. For the past couple of years, I've had 3 bikes in my stable: a dedicated road bike, a full suspension mountain bike, and a gravel and adventure touring bike, a Salsa Journeyman. The Journeyman was a very capable entry-level bike for this segment. When I bought it, I wasn't sure how much gravel and all-road riding I'd do, so I didn't want to buy a higher-end bike until I knew I was going to stick with it. Well, not only have I decided that I'm going to stick with it, I also find that this class of bicycle is extremely versatile, as it will handle road, gravel, and even some dirt. It has really become my go-to bike. So when I approached Peter about the possibility of building me a bike, I knew that it was going to be an upgrade for my Journeyman. Ever since I learned about the existence of Capital bicycles, I was intrigued about the idea of being able to get a bike handmade right here in Kentucky. And after I had the chance to interview Peter and learn more about the process and look at pics of some of his favorite builds, I knew that I needed to at least explore the possibility of getting one. For the past 10 years, there's been one bike frame material that I've drooled over more than any other, and that is titanium. I wasn't sure that I'd ever be able to own a bike with a titanium frame. Going into this, I figured that a custom frame would come with a higher price tag than a stock bike. And while the estimate that Peter gave me for a steel bike met that expectation, I was very pleasantly surprised to find that the estimate for my titanium build was comparable to a lot of stock builds that I was attracted to, even after adding back in the discount that Peter was giving me in exchange for sponsorship recognition. And so I opted for titanium. I should note here that given the fact that every build that Peter does is unique, if you're interested in the possibility of having Peter build a bike for you, there's no substitute for reaching out to him and obtaining your own estimate. In terms of geometry, I've long been attracted to the Salsa lineup of bikes. And had it not worked out to have Peter build me a bike, I might have opted for a custom build of a Salsa Fargo. And so the geometry we ended up with draws some inspiration from that particular bike. Rather than a drop bar, I opted for a flat bar setup. Namely because I've never been particularly focused on speed and have found that even after I upgraded my handlebars on my Journeyman to a wider Salsa cow chipper, I still spent most of my time up on the hoods. And I like the idea of a flat bar both from the standpoint of having a wider bar for better control on technical descents and for having a little more upright posture for looking out and taking in the world around me as I explore. Like the Fargo, I wanted to go with a 29-inch wheel rather than the 650B wheel of the Journeyman, as I'm taller and also I could get a little better rollover that way. I also knew that I wanted lots of bolts for the purposes of bolting bikepacking bags onto the frame, as well as the ability to bolt cargo onto the fork. One other thing that I'll mention about the wheels is that I happen to have a 27.5 plus wheel set in my possession with 3-inch tires, due to the fact that my full suspension mountain bike, a Salsa Pony Rustler, was stolen this past summer, and I had purchased a 29-inch wheel set that was on the bike when it got stolen. So I asked Peter if we might make use of the 27.5 plus wheel set as a second wheel set for times when I might want to go bikepacking on more technical terrain. All right, so here's a look at the design that Peter came up with based upon my requirements. It's an adventure and bikepacking bike with a titanium frame and an adventure carbon fork. It's got flat bars and a mountain bike 1x12 drivetrain with both a 29 by 2.2 inch all-surface wheel set and a 27.5 plus 3-inch mountain bike wheel set. Okay, so stay tuned for the time-lapse video of the build and the big reveal to follow. I can't wait. Okay guys, I'm totally geeking out. This is my new Capital bicycle, and I'm here with Peter Mitchell, my master bikesmith. I'm gonna grab the camera in just a second here and kind of go in tight and give you a close-up look at this bike, but I am over the moon, Peter. I mean, anything I could have conceptualized, this is like far beyond that. So I'm gonna come behind the camera and show you, kind of zoom in here and show you some features. So first of all, this blue is just absolutely gorgeous. But so here's this titanium frame, and you can see, so he's got the black Capital logo there with some really nice pinstriping, but then the under, carriage of the bike is this black, and it's got some hints. It looks almost like it has like a sparkle to it, Peter.
That's exactly what it has, yeah. It's got a blue metallic flake in it.
Actually, if you look here on this fork, so this is a Salsa carbon fork. It's the same fork that goes on the Salsa Fargo, so it's an adventure fork. And right under there, you can see a little nod towards the Kentucky Cycling logo. And then this thing just keeps getting more beautiful, more beautiful. So we're right in front of the Capitol building here, which is only about a block from my house. And I told Peter that I really love the fact that there's this Capitol logo. And so in his one of one, he's actually got the Capitol Dome, which you can actually see. This is my Capitol Dome. Looks a lot like the one you modeled it after. I'll take it. And then
it's pretty close.
So there's this exploration theme here, and you can see he's got the compass kind of built into the top bar, and then all the kinds of things you might see in your adventures, be they through the woods or through the mountains. So this is just gorgeous trim here, and I love that this is like naked titanium underneath here. So all the little details is really the absence of paint, although there's several layers of top coat, aren't there? Yeah. So we come over here. We've got the on the head tube. We've got that Capitol logo, and he's picked up those same colors of orange, blue, and black. God, this is so pretty. I did not anticipate. Peter worked some magic. So these are the Terravale Sparwood tires, which are the same kind of tire that comes stock on a Salsa Fargo. And I had the 650B version of these on my Journeyman and really gotten to like them. They're a great all-surface tire. They were showing as not available in the tan wall. So I totally was excited to see the tan wall. Peter, I'm not going to ask what favors you did to make that happen. So the handlebar choice was my own. You can't blame Peter there. This is a Soma Dream Riser bar. It's got about 50 millimeters or about 2 inches of rise, and I think about 25 degrees of back sweep. So this is a very upright position, but for me, who's just coming off of shoulder surgery, I'm going to really like that. If I ever want to go more aggressive, I can. And then this is kind of a nod to some alt bars type things. This is SQL Labs makes this little inner bar ends, which basically just kind of starts to approximate the position of like you would a hood. I didn't go particularly high end on the drivetrain. This is a Shimano Deore drivetrain. There are awful lot of reviewers. If you start researching this drivetrain, it's got all the capability. It's heavier, obviously, than the higher trims, but it's got the capability and range of those higher trims. And a lot of people tout it as just a great budget buy. So that's a way to save some money there. So that's really nice. Just noticing this Capitol logo. Look at that. That's beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, the details on this bike, it's going to be, of course I'm going to ride it, but my gosh, I just want to look at it. And then he's put on this Thomson Elite seat post, and I chose this Ergon ST Core Prime saddle, which is a touring saddle made by Ergon. And so, Peter, I want to ask you about the drops. Tell me about what you did here, because you kind of had to join with...
Yeah, we machine these parts, so the joining for the tubes, the dropouts. We like to utilize this specifically because it hides the internal cable routing quite nicely, and it gives a nice blend from the dropout into the chain stays. These dropouts we buy, the big advantages of them, why I like them so much, is because if you decide sometime in the future you want to turn this into a single speed, or they bring out some form of new technology in terms of derailleur shifting, you keep the core of the dropout, but that's just 5 bolts, and the new style then bolts on. So it sort of future-proofs the bike to a degree going forward.
Neat. And then he's noticing here. So if you look at that cable routing, it basically just so this is all internal cables, and really nice. I wasn't necessarily expecting this. These are some really nice stainless steel. Who makes those bottle cages? Okay, so Villa Orange, and you can see they really go nice with the titanium frame, just a kind of old school. So this is the man. This is really the man here, who has kind of made my dream come true. Oh, and I didn't point out one feature is all these. You spent a lot of time on this, Peter, so I'd be remiss if I didn't point these out. So we've got 2 bolts here for a top tube bag. I'm gonna be getting some bags custom bags from Rock Ice, but this is like they call it a medic bag, and kind of fills in here. Then we've got 4 bolts, and then a bolt, and then of course 3 bolts. Well, there's 2, so you can see this is adjustable. But yeah, but to be able to do a bolt-in frame bag there, and then for future proofing, if I ever want to do a rack, they can do that. And there's a rack style that I've been eyeballing for that. And then, of course, 3 more bolts on that Salsa fork. I am absolutely over the moon.
As always, we hope you found this content useful. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks.